Good morning, beautiful people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities. It's a rainy morning here in Brisbane, Australia, but it's quite humid actually. Inside the house it is. 2 days of rain now, but that's not too bad. We need rain occasionally, water the gardens, feed the trees, rejuvenate our spirits from the long grinding heat. So it's all good. It's 10:53 a.m. on the 25th of March 2024. Got woken up at 9 o'clock with the skin clinic wanting to book me in for a skin check, which is, I hate having those, but it's important. I'm getting sprouting new little melanomas as we speak. So I'll get my skin doctor to check me, and hopefully they're nothing, right? Usually they're the last 6 months ago there was nothing to worry about. So I think taking vitamin D every day is staving off some of the very early basal kind of cancers. Maybe I'm just delusional, but on the subject of vitamin D, I've run out as of yesterday, so I've got to go out and buy some more and keep pumping my body full of sunlight hormones and try and stave off the worst of the worst and hope for the best of the best, as I always do. So I've had a beautiful weekend. I wasn't too astonishingly written off yesterday after dancing 2 nights. Usually, the day after a wild night of dancing, I'm completely zombified. But I cope well, but I noticed today my lungs are playing up, but that's probably more likely due to the rain and the dampness and the shift in temperature and the humidity, so I'm not too concerned. Don't think I've caught anything yucky, and it is what it is. I always go downhill anytime the weather changes or it starts to get cold from summer to autumn. I always have a crash and burn, but I got my Ventolin and Seretide the other day. Actually filled the script in preparation because I know this time of year is a bad time of year for me, but I seem to be stronger because dancing 2 nights wildly and triumphantly the way I did usually is completely, depleting for me. So I seem to be building up strength. So I'm very happy about that. Although I don't think I'll be doing 2 nights again in a hurry unless it's for a special occasion or a special reason why I feel the need to drive myself like a wildebeest, because it is a bit arduous. But I had a lovely time, I really did, and I'm glad I did it because it showed me where my levels of stamina are, which are pretty fucking phenomenal, really. Well, I am half German. We are known for dancing until we literally die. It was a phenomenon in the Middle Ages of a small village in Germany. I forget where the village actually was, but I read about it once where I don't know, they must have eaten some food that had gone a bit off or had some kind of mold in it that gives you this kind of extreme high. Anyway, the whole village danced until they dropped dead of exhaustion. So, it's a bit of a cultural motif, really, but I sort of got the feeling that I was getting close to dropping dead with exhaustion, where my soul left my body and was just like looking around at me going, "What are you doing, girlfriend?" "Oh, well, I'm showing off actually because I think I'm phenomenal, but I'm actually just a short little fat hobbit lady pissing in the wind and living my best life and dreaming the dream to the point of my own obliteration." So my soul came back in and went, all right, reintegrate, bitch. And here we are back in the room. But anyway, I have to laugh at my own nature. I'm very, as my psychiatrist likes to stir me up occasionally, he says, well, you're interdimensional, Tanya. I went, no, I'm a dissociative doctor. I tease him. We always tease him about Jungian connections and telepathy and, the paranormal, because he knows that's my grand passion. I would love to have been a parapsychologist, actually. That's one of my dreams, But anyway, he said to me, yes, he says, yes, you're very interdimensional. I see you leave your body, sometimes even during our therapy sessions. And he says, you just wander off and you do a little, wander around for a few moments and then you come back in. And he says, the astonishing thing is you don't miss a beat. You still know what we were talking about and you still keep up. He says, but you do. He goes, you go on little tiny little forays between dimensions. Well, I guess it's a gift that gets handed to a shaman from too many early childhood near-death experiences, and then let us not forget the near-death experiences in the last 10 years. So nothing like bringing you back to reality and telling you to live your very best life when you're facing the end of your, current incarnation and carnality, and realise it's nearly over, kid. Might be another 20, 30 years before it's nearly over, but live your best life anyway. You never know what magic and mystery and wonder and truest, deepest love might flow to you unexpectedly, almost out of left field, when you've given up the ghost and given up on the old hobbit body, the old corpus, right? Well, my body has her own gnosis now. She sometimes I think I'm running this old meat sack, and other times I realise she's running me. It's when I kind of leave my body and go floating around like, what the actual fuck? Who's in charge of this integration, right? Well, of course I am after years of therapy. Just like, get back in here, girlfriend. It's actually a wonderful gift, though, I've realised. It happened in May last year when I actually was dancing at the Live Wire, and I had a kind of an entity possession which I would not normally allow, but I was conscious of it happening, which was astonishing. Never had that happen before. And something just donned me like a mantle, and then just stood like this. I wasn't standing like this, the spirit was, looking around the whole room, sussing every other dancer out, looking at the architecture. And so inside my mind, because I don't talk out loud, otherwise people would think you were batshit crazy people, I said to them, don't harm anyone here. There's no one here that's harmful. I said, that man over there doesn't like me and I don't like him, and he's a bit fucking malevolent, but to be fair, he's never done anything overtly to harm me. I said, probably backstabs me at every opportunity, and he mocks and derides and makes fun of me. When I was dancing with a young Aboriginal man last year, was a very nice young man. Gorgeous young man, actually, very sweet and heartfelt and loving and kind. And this other creep was like, pointing and laughing. So it was interesting that only a couple of months after that event, this entity dived in and had a good long look at everyone. And then not long after, I stopped going to the casino because of their escalation of malevolence towards me and nastiness. So the entity was right to dive in and have a good long look. I don't know who that spirit or being was, but they were being very, very fucking protective indeed. And I thought, shit must be about to go down here, because when you get a spirit don you like you're just a bit of a sausage skin over meat and wear you and have a good look around, I knew shit's about to go down and it's time to move on, baby girl. Anyway, nothing happened really there, but I guess the energy of that place is they're moving to the new venue and that place will be turned into something else, or they'll do something else with that building. And so it was a kind of a closing circle. So maybe that entity just wanted to make sure I was safe while things slowly got wound down. And anyway, I made a conscious decision after I went there when Beauregard had just died 4 days before, when they were so nasty. I thought, I'm moving on. I don't need this garbage in my life, being treated like garbage by garbage people. So, yeah. But it's pretty freaky when you have interdimensional entities protecting you, and they're there, and that if I'd said that man's harmed me, do your best work, I don't know what would have happened. But I was so freaked out by that experience, I just said, please don't harm anyone here, even my enemies, because in the broad scheme of things, it's not important. And they've done nothing overtly to me. Until they do, let them be, let go, let God. So whoever that was quite satisfied with my philosophy on that and then left. But as I said, I had an energy come up, stand behind me the other day, so don't know if it's the same entity or something else, but nothing to be afraid of. It's just they actually literally stepped up behind me the moment I said love is the fabric of the universe, sort of like wanting to see who I'm talking to and what's going on. And I thought that was kind of cute that they chose that time to kind of surround me in great love. I am very loved. I'm very, very loved at the moment. I go through periods where I feel very abandoned and decimated and destroyed, and I grieve horribly, and others where I can see with my own stubborn, recalcitrant, doubting Thomas eyes. That's a Christian reference, isn't it? But you know what I mean. How loved I am and how protected. So, and not just by interdimensional entities, but other mortal humans too. So I'm grateful to those souls that see me and love me in my weird, strange, quirky ways, because it's been a long, long, hard becoming people. And I'm there. I think I'm there. I think I've reached the best version of myself so far, where I'm opening up to love and opening up to putting faith in other humans again. Not completely, like I'm not stupid, but just feeling that there's potentials, just Fibonacci spiraling or Mandelbrot sequences of just ever unfurling repetitions of patterns. Some of the patterns I'm still trying to fucking break or undo and create new patterns that are more soul nourishing and life affirming and beautiful and protective and life enhancing and prosperous and healthy and loving and supportive and nurturing. All of those, I'm putting out those little patternings and seeing which ones bear fruit and bear their own patterns, because by the gods, we have to change this. We have to change the timelines. We have to change the timelines so we have a safer earth for everyone. I don't have that ability to do that just by my little old self though. So as a collective, we have to think very carefully about what kind of a world we want for our children. Those of us who don't have children, we still have to think about that, because there will always be, even though I probably won't have grandchildren, there will always be children somewhere in the world needing to be raised in a world that is safe and loving and supportive and providing them a goodly life, right? And I don't mean in a religious way, I mean in a practical way. You know, the basic needs. What is it? Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs or something like that. Food, shelter, clothing, enough love, clean water, clean air, not being bioengineered by unknown substances, which grinds my gears. You know, just being healthy human beings in their own body, mind and spirit. We need our children to be taught more about the spirit aspect of their being so they can nourish and protect that. This is a full-blown war we're going through now on planet Earth. The destruction of the spirit, turning us into part machine, empty, really empty NPC, voided out automatons, or in real world applications without the brains eating, although that might become a thing, people, God's forfend, zombies. I want everyone on planet Earth to keep their brains healthy and to keep their souls healthy. I don't know how, because we've all been altered on some level as a species, you know. I mean, I caught COVID in October, so I've had a minor alteration. So we're all equally, you know, having to fight for our right to party, to be safe, to be loved, to have enough good, healthy, yummy food and drink to partake of, and to be surrounded by people who see us and hear us and actually have our front, backs and sides, and you know. Oh, anyway, I'm raving on. So enough of that. But you get my vibe, don't you, where I'm at with this. And some of you understand and agree with me, and some of you are just like, have no idea, but that's okay. It's okay. Everyone's in a different part of the co-creation with the gods and the patterning. Some of us have been quite badly harmed, and that's what I'm angry about. Anyway, I'm not always angry. Sometimes I'm a soft little marshmallow kitten just wanting to curl up and purr on somebody's lap and be caressed and cuddled, and it's a bit sad, people, when I get like that too. Anyway, you have to laugh. So, okay. Mama T's got it all happening at the moment. You know, I am quite satisfied with my lot in the present moment in time. You know, tomorrow or the next day, who knows what mood I'll be in. But I'm sailing through life quite well in recent months. I've even astonished myself. You know, it was a bit fucking touch and go after Beauregard died, by the gods, but, you know, we're getting there. Soul nurtured and encouraged and motivated and just validated and loved has been a wondrous gift, people. So to those of you who flowed that love to me, God's bless. So today's readings of even date is titled Defiance. I defy, deify, be your own god or goddess. Nurture your own soul. That's not to say you should give up on the God of your understanding, the Creator, but know thyself and be true to thyself always. Speak your truth, walk your truth, work your truth, dance your truth, love your truth. If you must die eventually, death comes to us all. Die in your own truth. Feet planted on planet Earth, interconnected with Earth and our truest natures and our planet. Stay in love with the cosmos, with the gods of your understanding, and stay in love with your truly beloved ones who treat you with kindness and decency and respect. And maybe one day, for people like me who are still waiting to find their true love partners and live the fairy tale happily ever after in partnership or in union with someone. Yes, that was a little bit Freudian, wasn't it? But I mean, you know what I mean. In union with someone who loves you as much as you love them and is a partner to you and will be there for you in good, bad, and in different times. Won't abandon you when shit gets scary or when shit gets real. Someone courageous enough to hold your hand across the multiverses and keep holding your hand and not let you go, not leave you alone in great crisis and horror. Someone loving, someone kind, someone generous, someone heartfelt, and someone, if necessary, although hopefully the need for that never arises, someone protective. Hold those kinds of people precious because they are rare. It's not all about, beauty or status or, how great you are at doing something, although it's wonderful to have gifts. The greatest gift that you can give someone is absolute, devoted, loyal, supportive, genuine love. I'm looking forward to that happening in my life one day. If the gods allow it. It's always up to the gods. I'm leaving it up to the gods now. Because I used to fight hard. I used to fight so hard, butt my head against brick walls to be loved. And at the end of the day, all I got was abused and used. So that pattern, I think that pattern has finally been broken because I'm seeing the reverse of that, like fucking reverse osmosis. I did put a prayer out, I think it was 2021 or 2022, I can't remember. I think it's in one of my videos even, but I can't remember which one. I put a prayer out that the timelines have to be shifted so we could get rid of this evil, debauched COVID epoch, right? And I swear to you, within months, I could see it all shifting and just all washing out like a bad tide after a horrific storm, taking the flotsam and jetsam and filth with it. Well, we're still flushing it out, people. It'll be a little while yet, but after every storm, there comes a beautiful, sunshiny, clear, crisp, wonderful day. So hold on for that, people. It's coming. Might even be here already for some of you, but it's coming. So where was I? Defiance, overcoming poor health, fury and passion, and my beautiful cat who loved me and is greatly missed. Here's a photo of me on 25th of March, 2015. I'll have to scroll it down so you can see it properly. Yes, here she is, looking reasonably happy there. But you know why I'm happy? It's my friend Nigel in New Zealand. I sent him the money to get me a beautiful Hey Tiki from New Zealand. And I must have not long received it because I'm looking pretty excited there. So yes, that's what that photo was about, I think. The lovely Tiki. And he put so much good energy into it, my beautiful friend Nigel, that when I collected the parcel, that the interestingly the Maori postman, post office worker, not knowing what was in the parcel, had left right at my front door, right? So I stepped out and see this parcel and I pick it up because I was expecting it, you know, I knew probably that it was the Tiki. And I unwrapped it out of, you know, the little box and the packaging, and greenstone's normally quite a cool stone to the touch. It was hot. It was hot in my hand. So Nigel's a psychic medium like me. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a full-blown medium, but I have some mediumship abilities, which I don't use on people, by the way, but, you know, it's opening up more and more as I get older, though. But anyways, Nigel was one of my psychic talented friends that I met many years ago in the psychic spiritual chat rooms on Paltalk. So I immediately messaged him and I said, you put some good energy into that Tiki, Nigel. He said, oh really? I went, yes. I said, I've just unpacked it and the stone is hot in my hand. He was like, oh wow. So yeah, big mana with that one. I was advised by another Maori woman, another reader. She said, get yourself a Tiki. It's your connection to New Zealand where you were born, number one. And she believed that it would bring me luck in finding a love partner, which, you know, it didn't. And I'm not that superstitious that I think a little Tiki is going to bring me a man, right? That would be cray-cray. But it is indeed big mana, and it is a connection to my homeland. And yeah, I actually don't wear it very often, but it's very, very much a prized part of my jewellery collection. So yes, it's a symbol of good luck. And well, I am lucky. I'm lucky to still be alive. I'm lucky to have beautiful friends in my life who value and cherish me. I'm lucky to have my little birdie who's on the windowsill twittering away. My tea's cold and I cannot abide cold tea. So we're going to go in the kitchen and we're going to heat it up in the microwave, and then I'll be a happy mama and can continue with my reading without throwing some kind of cold tea tantrum. I'm supposed to be cutting back on tea, but this is my first cup of tea for today, so it's okay. I'll just have one or two and then that'll be it. And I think that new drug that my urologist put me on is actually working. I'm getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep without having to get up constantly. I'm getting longer periods of sleep. So I think maybe in another week or two I'll know if it's definitely working or not. But it's looking promising actually. You know, having at least 5 or 6 hours of solid sleep without being interrupted is amazing. Which is why I'm synapsing a bit better, you know. It's amazing what having a proper night's sleep can do for you. So I'm happy about that, and I'm hoping that it definitely works, and then I don't need to take the Demopressin, which sounded freaking dodgy as fuck, because you're not allowed to drink any liquids on that at all, and at night, and I might be able to avoid the Botox too, because although, you know, it's supposed to be the best cure of all, I don't really want botulism pumped into my body every 6 months and have to be knocked out with general anaesthetic and risk my lungs shutting down each time because of my sleep apnea. It's too fucking dangerous. So Mama T will soldier on as always and hope for the best. And in the meantime, I'll keep dancing, but probably not every full weekend like I did this last one. I might be just pacing myself a little more gently. It's funny, you know, the sicker I get, the more audacious and risk-taking I get by pushing hard against my own energy. It's like I'm a stubborn wench. Anyway. "25th of March. Oh, yeah, that was, I wrote down already what happened today. Booking my appointment with a skin doctor, blah, blah, blah. So we'll carry on from 2023. "6:12 p.m. My hands are very sore and swollen from working on the copper cuffs. I was hoping to go dancing tonight, but if I am still in pain by the time it's time to leave the house, I will give it a miss." Then I posted a video, which it doesn't have the title, but I can tell by reading it, by what I said, it's one of Dr. John Campbell's. And so I responded, "He's still dancing around the bald facts. Not only was it their job to ensure safety protocols, but their willful complacency to roll it out knowing the dangers amount to what I have said all along: genocide. These professionals mostly knew exactly what they were perpetrating on the global population. I, for one, hope they all fucking hang." Well, everyone's too cowardly to stand up and fight against it, so there'll be no hanging. It'll just keep decimating us until what? Can we say Georgia Guidestone's people, which they conveniently destroyed recently? All happening right up in your right nostril, but everyone went into denial. Can we say the equivalent of a consciousness that is alien and antithetical to human life, kind of like an alien invasion? But don't mind me, I've only been in therapy for 25 years. And I'm stupid and crazy. Not so stupid and crazy now though, am I? Honestly. It's actually almost comical, except it's so tragic. Anyway, here we go. Life goes on, beautiful people. The dance will continue, and the angels who have our back will angel, and life will be good because I have spoken. Charlie's about to do a massive poo. Right, anyway. Oh, that looks like a massive one. Looks painful, Charlie. Get on with it, Charlie. Gods as in all 5,000 gods across all mythologies and religions and cultures. Help the children who were blissfully injected by complacent, naive government slaves. As adults, their parents had a choice to comply. The babies and children had no voice at all. Alarming reports are coming out now about, young children having seizures and very, very serious reactions. Like, it only took now for them to work that out. Like, what? Dear Goddess. Ah, yes, here I have the title of the video. It was Dr. John Campbell. Australian Government Biodistribution Data. I can't even speak about what the Australian government has done to its people. It's sickening beyond. This afternoon, I used my homemade annealing pan for the first time. I needed to anneal this copper cuff to form it twice. I was very proud of myself for making my own annealing pan. It's just little things to save me money on equipment, right? And it's not fancy, but it works perfectly and I'm happy with it. So I need to get back into my silversmithing. I'm feeling it's time to make something else, but I sort of took a break for a while and I've been focusing on my YouTube videos and even been reading a little bit more than I usually do. So yes, but I feel like there's a surge of creativity and energy just sitting just ever so slightly on the edge of being activated, and when that happens I'll be maniacally making jewelry of some kind, or I'll be maniacally focused on some other activity and giving it my all. Look out if I ever take a lover again. Whew, will I be busy with that? Someone's going to be very excited when that happens. Don't know who it is yet. I'll have to rein it back in lest I terrify them and scare them off like I usually do when I reactivate my sexual energies and, behave like a normal, healthy, red-blooded woman again. They're that frightened of it. I wonder why that is. It's not like I'm, creepy or weird. The kinds of men that are frightened of my sexual energy, I suppose, are abusers because they don't have good intentions for me. If they're that terrified of a healthy, red-blooded woman with a fully activated, re-innovated and reactivated libido, they're frightened of that. Wow. They're not worthy of my sexual energy. But anyway, it's all good, people. I'm just musing about it. I'm not doing anything about it. It's all just circling around my head like a kind of a halo, a kind of an orbit, and I'm waiting to see what the gods decree for who is the best possible, most loving partner for me. enjoying my life dancing and having a bit of fun in the meantime, like I've done for the last 13 years. So I woke up at 9:30 a.m. after only catching about 4 hours of deep REM sleep. I woke up from a dream that I was in a townhouse or duplex. Been dreaming a lot of apartments and houses lately. I wonder what that's about. Houses represent your foundations and the walls you put up and dimensionality. So anyway, it was a nice place. The rooms were not very large, but it had 3 bedrooms. I was astonished to discover a tiny bathroom just off the garage. It still had I actually remember that dream. It's flashed back at me now I'm describing it. Yeah, that was a potent dream. The energy in it was intense. It still had the contents from the previous owner or tenant. It had no toilet, just a vanity and shower stall. I thought, another toilet would have come in handy. Gail was with me, twittering in my ear, excited, which is weird that I was dreaming of her since I ended the friendship with her back in 2015. So I've got to scroll back. What year was it? Did I write this? 23, so a year ago. Odd that I'd be dreaming of Gail. Well, anyway, she was with me, twittering in my ear, excited. I was just looking around my new home. Outside was sparse, but had the most gorgeous wraparound swimming pool in a kind of U-shape. I turned to Gail. This will do nicely. I will mostly live in the pool, which is true. If I have a swimming pool, I'm there, babies. Especially in summer. When I had it was only an above ground swimming pool in my marital home in Birkdale, that had most beautiful golden cane palms all around it, so it was sheltered from prying eyes most of the time. And we put some, like those flares around, so it looked like we were in downtown, Hawaii, and it was all very, Polynesian and romantic looking. And oh dear goddess, romance with my husband was such a waste of time. But never mind, we won't be mean. It's true, but we won't be mean. But anyway, so, during the day, at night we'd have the flares going, we'd swim at night, which was lovely. It was lovely. And then during the day, I would always, mobile phones weren't invented yet when I was living in that house. Or they just started. I think I got my first mobile phone in 1994. But, so they might have been invented, but I hadn't been able to afford one yet. Yeah, I think that's probably more likely. So anyway, but I had a Panasonic flip phone, home phone that had long range. It was like a portable phone. So I used to have that down by the pool with the antenna out. And I'd be floating around in the swimming pool with the kids, living our best life. That was the nicest time I had with the kids, was being in the pool. Anyway, the bloody phone would go, and I'd splash over to the side of the pool and I'd answer it, and it'd be this friend I had at the time. She was very earthy, and yeah, we were good mates for a while till that went sour. But anyway, her name was Kathy Shapiro, and she used to nickname me Jaws, because you've probably guessed why I make my YouTube videos is I only have so many word quotient in a day, and I have to talk, I have to talk, I have to communicate, I have to express. And so I like talking, and so I'd pick up the phone and I'd be like, hello, and she'd go, Jaws! And I'd be like, yes, Kathy. She'd say, are you where I think you are? I said, where would that be, Kathy? Are you in that fucking swimming pool again while I'm working my ass off? And I went, yes, Kathy. I'm so angry and envious of you. And I went, oh, don't be, Kathy, because your turn will come, like, don't be envious, Kathy. I'm living my best life. But, people worked hard so I could have this lifestyle, darling. She goes, I hate you, you bitch. And I'll be like, okay, thanks for calling. Bye. Clunk. And then she'd ring back and she'd go, I'm joking. And I went, yeah, really? You joking? Anyway, she was on some level a bit of a toxic load because she actually was a bit jealous. She was ridiculous. I find people who are jealous of other people's happiness are just NPC, shallow types, superficial, lacking soul, heart, and, important parts of their frontal lobe. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, it was funny how she used to call me Jaws. The other thing she did, which was quite nasty actually, I was pissed off about it. I'm still pissed. I'm going to say it because I'm pissed off about it to this day. Was when I was a young girl, a teenager, right up until, I was pregnant with my first child. I had a horse, well, a pony really. And this pony called, her name was Asphiloth. And so I bought this big leather Western cowboy hat that I used to wear out riding. Not that I'm a cowboy, but it just, I was a child and it was cool. It was a cool thing to have and it looked good when I was riding my horse. So anyway, before we migrated here to Australia when I was 23, I'd actually had to sell the horse, which I was a bit brokenhearted about. She was one of my babies, And, but I kept the hat. So the hat was sentimental. I didn't wear it very often because I didn't have a horse and not really. I don't really dress up in Western style all that often, if ever. Occasionally I'll, have my cowboy boots on. But anyway, this was a beautiful leather, hat, all hand-tooled. And my fucking ex-husband, he was a treacherous, fucking backstabbing, fucking cunt of a thing, wasn't he, really? Just all these little things that build up, that destroy a marriage, people. Take note. Don't humiliate and dehumanise your wife and play stupid pranks and get rid of her things without your permission, because all those things build up into a kind of a incendiary rage. So anyway, but what happened was with this hat, this was, mind you, this was 1993, 94. By 1994, my marriage had hit the skids, but I was staying in it and trying to hold it together for the sake of my kids. But in actual fact, I was already gone, if that makes sense. I should not have even tried to hold it together because it was long dead and I'd been long in denial about it. But anyway, this is one of the things he did was we had a garage sale, and because he was always wanting to have garage. I don't even know what that was about. He'd go around the garage sales and buy bits of crap and bring, sometimes, if he bought tools or something for the boat, something useful, but most of the time it was just crap, and then he'd kind of have to throw it back out again in a garage sale. I hate garage sales. You very rarely will see me go to garage sales. It's kind of a hangover from that, I think. I don't mind curbside collections, collecting things for free, when they do the rubbish collecting. I sometimes go to second-hand shops and have a look around, and I've bought some lovely things in second-hand shops, but I'm not one to go to garage sales. Anyway, Meathead would go, oh, let's have a garage sale. I can't think of anything worse, Michael. Oh, well, I've got some things I want to say. This is actually how he used to speak to me in that tone. It was that He was that soul depleted. Anyway, I'm not responsible for his soul, he is, so I'm not buying into that bullshit. But anyway, so he decides we're going to have a garage sale, and I said it's such a lot of work and it's not my thing and I'm not really into it. He goes, yeah, I've discussed it with Kathy and Rick Shapiro, we'll have a combined garage sale. I said, what? So, because I was very fond of Kathy and her husband Rick, you know, I did love Kathy quite deeply actually. I thought she was a true friend for a while there. Oh well, shit happens. But this is how I got a clue she wasn't actually a true friend. So, and if she sees this video, she knows. I'm not defaming. This is how it actually played out, right? There's a few little things that went wrong with that friendship, but that was one of the big red flags. So I go down to check on this garage sale that they're all terribly excited about happening, and Kathy Shapiro goes, "What's with that cowboy hat?" I said, "Yeah, that's not for sale, that's mine." She goes, "Oh, but it's hideous." I said, "No, it's not. It's hand-tooled, it's done beautiful leather work, and it's sentimental, it's my hat." And she just sort of smiled, and Michael sort of smiled anyway. I went up to make a cup of tea or deal with our kids or something, you know, come back. And they're both smirking at me like this. And I went, "What have you done?" They went, "We sold your hat. We sold it for $30. I went, "What?" Unbeknownst to them, having people sell out my stuff or give my stuff away behind my back or without my permission, you know, is a major fucking trigger for me, because my mother used to do that to me when I was a teenager. Sold my bicycle for a tea chest to sail back to New Zealand from Melbourne, and give away or sell my toys and, you know, my scoop and my snorkeling gear and all these things that used to really piss me off as a teenager, because I used to think, if I had done that to my mother, given away or sold off her precious possessions, she would have gone insane. But she thought, she had no boundaries. She thought nothing of disposing of my stuff. So I looked and I said, "How dare you do that to me?" "Oh, but it's just a shitty old hat." And I went, "Yes, but it's my hat, and in my eyes it's not shitty, and it was very sentimental, and I was still planning on wearing it on occasion. And even if I never wore it again for the rest of my life, it's beside the point, right?" So anyway, I just looked at the pair of them and they were giggling with glee about their little bit of mischief that they thought was funny. And I thought to myself, you people were dishonouring and disrespecting of my possessions and my entire being, and you cannot be in my life much longer. And that was when the penny actually started to actually drop, that these people were not actually my friends or had my back in any real meaningful way. And that bore out when I said I was leaving the marriage, and she went and slandered me in the whole community and told everyone that I was having an affair with my friend Jared, which she had egg on her face, because Jared and I have never had an affair. You know, we loved each other deeply at that time because we were very supportive and loving towards each other, going through my horrendous crisis of changing my entire life, losing my business, my marriage, my marital home, everything, including these superficial false friends. So there was no sexual affair at all, but we did have an emotional kind of an affair because we were true friends and had each other's backs, which is more than I can say for her and her other little female verminous backstabbing cohorts. 2024, 30 years later nearly. You have to laugh. Mama T never forgets an arsehole. Sometimes, if If the muse flows through her, she forgives. I kind of forgave them because they're just young and stupid and idiotic and superficial and callow and narcissistic and grandiose. But I don't forget. So anyway, here we were. That's right, that story was triggered talking about the swimming pool. So I'll repeat. I turned to Gail, who's also a long time defunct friendship from 2015. This will do nicely. I will mostly live in the pool. It was quite large and, to my mind, luxurious. There were pergolas with no plants growing on them. I said, my weeping rose will look fabulous over there, and I will bring in pots and pretty up the outside again with plants. Which reminds me, my weeping rose has definitely died and I'm devastated, but it's an expensive rose because it weeps down. I think last one I paid about $130, so I hate to think what they cost now. But I'm going to buy myself another one when I can afford one. Anyway, so continuing with the dream, Gail said I was disassociated. She was forever Munchausen's by proxying me and, using her forensic psych nurse jargon, making me out to be completely not quite right. Or she liked to dig into fucking that wound every opportunity she got. And I do disassociate. I do. But it's funny how I was dreaming of her telling